The Natural History Museum is the 19th set of the model building series, which started in 2007, including Market Street and not counting those that came out in the Bricklink Designer program. And for the second time, we have a building 48 studs wide instead of the usual 42. It has 2 floors and an office and skylights on the roof, and it's also quite large since it occupies practically the entire back of the base plate. It's the set with more parts so far in this theme, 4014 elements. First, let's talk about colors. Olive green is the predominant color, something that not all fans liked. Personally, I don't dislike it. The same shade was used in a Parisian restaurant and it worked very well. However, I noticed that here the painted area is so large that it ends up being a saturating color. I believe that colors like light bluish gray and white will not be chosen, so maybe a sand green or a dark tan and dark bluish gray in the bottom and tan above. Perhaps ideally, instead of having a structure for cleaning windows, there should be one for a painter to use, and in that way they could have an extra color on the facade. Jokes aside, let's get to the minifigures. There are 7, or 9 if we count the statues. It seems like the ideal number for the set. We have 2 museum employees with unique torso, the curator, unique head and torso, that's an epic reference to Dr. Kilroy or Charles Lightning from the late 90s LEGO Adventures theme, 3 visitors, a mother with a prosthetic leg and her son, and a lady who likes pigeons. All of these figures have dual-sided heads, with the exception of the 7th, a window washer employee, a reference to the set's LEGO designer Chris McVie. We also have the 2 statues, I believe without reference to any personality or divinity, but with very rare torsos. Regarding the exterior, the building's facade is dominated by 2 pillars, one on each side of the entrance, supporting a triangular pediment at the top, something that has not been seen in this theme since the 2012 Town Hall. Next to these, a pair of grey statues, a man on the left and a woman on the right, which I believe have no historical or mythological reference, which I feel was a missed opportunity for more Easter eggs. On the right side we have a tree with pink and white branches, something in my opinion works very well to break up the monotony of the building's color. It's true that many fans didn't like the color chosen, but I believe that whatever the color picked, given the size of the museum, it will always look monotonous. Maybe tan would work better, but there will have to be many other elements to break up the color. 2 banners are hanging on the first floor, also introducing more diversity and advertise the 2 exhibitions on display in the museum. Go back in time, natural history, and explore the future, space, and some LEGO group history as well. Too bad they don't teach this at school. These are easily removable to reveal 2 more windows. On the left side we also have another detail in the window cleaner, with a minifigure of the designer Chris McVie as mentioned above. Below, we have a park bench and some birds pecking at a cookie on the ground, possibly a reference to the burglar from the detective's office. I really like the fence despite it being the most tedious part of the set to build. It's protecting some plants and flowers. Behind, a door and a pipe with rainwater from the roof, with a puddle of water and a flower, with a note in the instructions that seems to reference an iconic phrase from Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park, "Life always finds a way." There isn't much else in the back except for a crate where you can put a giant bone, and we'll get there later. But it's worth noting that, unlike what happens in many other sets in this theme, the walls of the set are similar and symmetric, with no other colors related to details built in the walls. On the roof there are 2 skylights that provide natural light to the galleries. The middle dome houses the museum curator's office with books, a typewriter, blueprints, compass, and a treasure map. I wonder if Johnny Thunder visited him recently. And even 2 figurines, which according to the instructions are related to 2 awards that he won for documentaries, and which were even shown at the Palace Cinema. When it comes to interiors, there are some details here that you only get access to during the construction phase. In the foundations, the presence of some bones, hopefully those of a dinosaur and not a figure, otherwise we will have to call the police station police officers again, and some cheese. There are no rats on the set, but we already know where they got in. The ground floor has several heights, consisting on 2 exhibition galleries on each side, with an entrance hall where there is a ticket office, which also sells souvenirs, including books and artifacts. Behind the hallway there is a small laboratory and a bathroom. The gallery on the right has prehistoric exhibits, and the one on the left contains a collection of ancient pots and a geology exhibit. The wall behind the hall can be removed for a better access of the rooms at the back. A white Technic element was used as toilet paper, and in the laboratory next door there is a microscope, very simple and cute by the way, and a bowl on the table. Exhibits in the dinosaur hall include a fossil, great use of the whip, a saber-toothed tiger skull, and dinosaur eggs. The Brachiosaurus skeleton is the highlight of the gallery, literally, and its neck stretches all the way to the first floor. It is designed to be removed easily so that it can be viewed in great detail. The other room on the ground floor has two levels. The lower part contains ancient vases, while the upper part has a geology exhibition, including a model of a volcano, a painting of the planet's interior, and several minerals and rocks. And here is the first joke of the set, with the remains of a vase on the floor. So, who broke it? There's also a bench with a reference to the first model Chris Murphy built at LEGO, the police station, with a donut on top. The brilliantly well-executed stairs take us to the first floor, occupied by the Explore the Future exhibition, advertised on one of the hanging banners, and which actually has a lot of references from the LEGO group. On the right side, miniature versions of the Black Sea's Barracuda, the Forest Man's hideout, and the Yellow Castle, along with the elements of the minifigures contained within. This makes up the LEGO display. It's not something you will find in natural history museums, but in the future, who knows? In the center, a representation of the solar system, and it uses a mix of microphones, minifig heads, and other round-shaped parts for the planets. Saturn's rings were represented brilliantly. Finally, references to some more LEGO history. A structure similar to the classic space logo, but with what appears to be the American continent, and next to it, what appears to be a reference to the iconic 483 Alpha 1 rocket base, with a blue tower. On the left side, a table that seems it was taken from a LEGO fan exhibition with micro-builds of 3 iconic classic space sets, Galaxy Explorer, Space Command Center, and what I believe to be the Space Buggy. Still, in this section we have a meteorite and an old hanging telescope, and access to more stairs which are closed. These lead to an horizontal door through which you can access the roof, where there is another telescope, and the curator's office. I don't know how old this Dr. Kilroy is, but these access conditions are not ideal for the elderly. I still need to talk about another hidden story. It looks like the dog found a bone and ran with it inside the museum. This bone can be placed in the crate in the back, or on the sidewalk in the front. And now, who broke the bowl? The dog or the employee? And is it the bone from the dinosaur, or something or someone else? Final score, 8.5 in 10. It's not the best modeler of all time, but in 19 sets it's in the top 10 without a doubt. Here is the complete model. I really enjoyed building the model, but it's also true that I'm biased as this is one of my favorite lines. I really enjoy simply laying down basic bricks and build walls just like we did in the 80s and 90s when we were children. Apart from the fences and tiles on the ground floor and outside, there were no boring processes and quite the opposite. Museums are typically imposing buildings, and this one was well represented as a modeler, being the largest building in the series. It will always be a challenge, as without other buildings or structures nearby, it will always be seen as something monotonous. I believe this set suffers from the same problem as the botanical garden. Although it can be placed alongside other modular units, and it doesn't look bad with a police station, a detective's office, or assembly square, for example, it stands out more if we build a garden around it and place it separately from the other sets. The interiors have excellent details, and in my opinion the only sin is that they are few. But that's me, I like to see a lot of things. In real life, there's usually a lot of space between the items on display at museums. Before this one, we had the Jazz Club, which I'm currently building, and I'll talk about it in the upcoming days. So, what is your opinion on the set? And which one is your favorite modeler? Thank you LEGO on the Land for sending a set for review. Opinions on it are my own. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you won't miss content regarding the theme and some novelties for 2025. And most importantly, play well.